12 phenomenal clone fragrances that are going to have you smelling amazing. Have you ever had that reaction from people where they just get near you and they go, "You smell amazing"? These are the kind of fragrances that are going to get you those kind of reactions. And there's a good mix. Some of them are that way because they're freshies and they're pleasant and they just appeal to people's sensibilities of, oh, you smell so fresh and clean. Others are just very impressive because they're maybe a little deeper, spicier, sweeter. So this is a great mix. I've got 6 that are freshies. I've got 6 that are more cooler weather fragrances. And again, these are phenomenal and they're gonna have you smelling amazing. So as we get ready to begin, remember to subscribe if you haven't done that. I've got videos coming out 5 or 6 times a week right now, and take a look at the like button and give it the most amazing click you possibly can. Let's begin. All right, let's start off with these freshies. This one right here has probably gotten more reactions from people saying you smell amazing, this and the others in the line, than just about anything else on the market, because this one is a dupe of course, Acqua di Gio Profondo. This is Lattafa Liam Blue. And so this is an aromatic blue fragrance. Of course, it is aquatic, it's a woody, it's aromatic, it's got a nice sort of sweet, almost minty aromaticness. And Profondo has this mineral note that I didn't get a lot of in Liam Blue until it sat on the shelf for 3 or 4 months. And now it actually does have a little bit of that minerality that the original is known so well for. So clean, bright, citrus, aquatic, aromatic. This stuff is awesome. Liam Blue, and really inexpensive as well. The next one is a dupe of a very expensive by Kilian's fragrance, Apple Brandy on the Rocks. This one is Paris Corner's Mauge Appletini. I have to admit, with this one, whenever I first got it, I didn't love it because it wasn't that sweet, it wasn't really boozy, and the woodiness was so much. And the performance wasn't great. It just goes to show you how important maceration is with certain fragrances. You know, Apple Brandy was the original fragrance from By Kilian's, which is a very, very, very woody apple fragrance. They released the On the Rocks flanker, which sweetened it up a little bit, livened it up a little bit, and this one has captured those facets of this DNA. It is much sweeter than it used to be. It's also got a little bit of that boozy flair, and the woodiness is definitely still there, but it's in the appropriate proportion, like the By Kilian's. The original, again, was so woody, that's all you get. This one now isn't so woody, that's most of what you get. The woods are sort of nicely positioned in the mid and dry down like they're supposed to be. Again, Mauge Appletini. This next one I put behind that one intentionally because there's some real similarities. This one is a dupe of a Parfums de Marly fragrance, Greenly, and this is French Avenue. That's Paris Corner's high-end brand or house. And this one is called Aether Extrait. And it's a really good alternative to Greenly. This is a fresh, vibrant fragrance, but it has an apple note that's kind of the star of the show, apple and citrus. So this sort of bright, crisp, almost like a Granny Smith style apple. And then there's quite a bit of woodiness in the dry down. I would say this one leans a little more fresh, even leaning, I would say, aromatic, whereas the last one I would say is more leaning sweet and boozy. But there's, I don't know, 60% similarity between the two. They actually make a great counterpart to one another. So again, Aether Extrait. And I will tell you with the last one, Mauge Appletini, especially now that it's sweetened, you could wear it all year round. It's not only a warmer weather fragrance. As a matter of fact, I would say probably don't want to wear it when it's 100 degrees outside, but it works in so many situations, and a really great pickup. This next one, this is a freshie, but it's really one of those all year round fragrances. This is an alternative to Raja Parfums Elysium. This is FOMO, a Fragheads Asylum. This stuff is fantastic. I have way too many dupes of Elysium. I've actually narrowed it down a little bit as I've been getting rid of some. But this one is my favorite. I still really like Alexandria Zion, although it's not that close to Elysium and it's very expensive. This one's very inexpensive and it's much closer to Elysium. Really great stuff. This is, of course, a sort of bright, sweet, citrus blackcurrant opening with a woody, grassy vetiver dry down, and that's exactly what it smells like. That's what you need to know about this one. If you want just one alternative to Elysium, I would say this is the one to pick up. And it's an extrait de parfum, so it's going to give you better performance than a lot of the ones that are out there. This next one is a brand new release from the House of Lattafa. Lattafa has been killing it this year. This one is an alternative to JPG Le Beau Paradise Garden. This is Lattafa Nadjia Intense. And they really did a great job. The opening between this and the original are almost indistinguishable, probably 90% close. In the dry down, they're also very close. I would just say this one is a touch more aromatic. It hangs on to a little bit more of that mint aromatic quality than the original does. So maybe it's 90% accurate in the opening and 85% in the dry down. It's still the best thing that I could recommend, because unless you want to go with a much more expensive dupe like Dua, this is your only option, but it is a good one. Again, Nadjia Intense. All right, this next one, this one is another one that really impressed me. Became one of my favorite clone pickups of the year. This one's an alternative to Louis Vuitton's Pacific Chill. This is Luciano Coastal Breeze. Another extrait de parfum. I love that some of these clone houses are listening to the people when we ask for longer lasting fragrances. So this one's extrait de parfum Freshy, which is not that common. And this one is a fruity, fresh fig fragrance. There is a little bit of an aquatic feel, and there's a citrus fruitiness in the opening, but that fig is a real standout in this one. I would say probably all year round, because it does have a decent amount of sweetness, but it really thrives in spring and even in the summer. So again, Luciano Coastal Breeze, really great stuff. Now we're going to move into some that I would say are more appropriate for cooler weather, although a couple of these, again, all year round, anytime, any situation. First one that I'll mention is this one right here. It's an alternative to really Amouage Reflection Man, but the Ralph's Club fragrances are also very similar. So this is a style of fragrance now. I'm talking about Kadlaj Shiaka, the one with the red label. And so this one is a sort of powdery orris, ylang-ylang, floral, aromatic fragrance. It is powdery, and you have to be able to tolerate or enjoy powdery fragrances, but there's a certain freshness and there is a certain density to this one and a long-lasting sweetness, although it's not an overbearing sweetness at all. This is one that I have worn in the summer many times, this and others like it, and it works great, but it works just as good in the cold weather as it does in the warm. So a little bit denser than some of the ones in the first half of the video, but another one you can wear anytime, anywhere. Again, one that you could pretty much wear anytime of the year, although there is a good bit of sweetness in this one. And I think the kind of fragrance it is, it's perfect for the fall, winter, but the fall is absolutely perfect. This one is Lattafa Jasur, and it is a Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Coral Fantasy dupe. Apple in the opening that really is the star of the show. You've got a little bit of cardamom for spiciness, and then you've got this woody and tobacco dry down. So it is aromatic. It's got a little bit of that dry woodiness and a tobacco leaf that is discernible, although this is the kind of fragrance, again, that is not only reserved for cooler weather, although I think it really shines during that time. Again, Lattafa Jasur, this stuff is phenomenal. This is one that, of course, you can wear anytime, anywhere, because it's a blue fragrance. And it's what I love about this one. You don't often see designer blue fragrances cloned. And I get it. It's because you can often get a blue designer fragrance for 60 or 70 bucks from discounters. But this one, I think I paid around 25 or 27 for, and it is very, very good. This is Fragrance World Pride Marine Red Moon. Now, I actually smelled the original Prada Luna Rossa Ocean yesterday. I just wanted to spray it again and just see, to be sure that I'm on point in saying this one smells very close to the original, and it absolutely does. I mean, almost indistinguishable except for one thing. There is a little bit of a synthetic quality about this one that does distinguish it from the original. Prada puts out a very high-end fragrance. This one doesn't quite match the quality, but the fragrance profiles are just right on the money. Again, Pride Red Moon, Marine Red Moon. All right, these next three I would say are perfect for the winter. Of course, you can wear them in the fall, wear them in the spring, wear them whenever you want, but really winter, cold weather is where these are going to shine. This one right here is a dupe of a discontinued 1 million flanker, 1 million Privé. This is Paris Corner's Pandora Scents Milano Privé. And this is a musky, woody, sweet cinnamon fragrance. There's also some tobacco in there, tobacco and cinnamon kind of being the standouts, but there is a woody muskiness to this one that also is distinct to this 1 million flanker, clone of a 1 million flanker. Really good stuff. Some people say it smells like a cinnamon roll, and I think that's right. It's not too far off from something like Angel Share or some of the Angel Share dupes, but again, Pandora Scents Milano Privé, really good stuff right here. The next one is a very inexpensive alternative to a discontinued John Varvatos fragrance, Dark Rebel. This one is Tahari Black. This is one of those accidental rack store pickups. I paid $12.99 for this, and it's so close to the John Varvatos, which I do have a 15 ml of that fragrance, and it's just super close from opening to dry down. This is probably a 6 or 7 hour fragrance, something like that, 6 hours I'll say, whereas the John Varvatos is probably more 7, maybe 8 hours now that it's macerated for a few years. And so there's not even that much of a difference in the quality or the performance. And if you don't want to pay $150 plus for the John Varvatos now on eBay, pick this one up, and I think you're going to be very happy with it. Tahari Black. And by the way, that is a dark leather tobacco, sort of ashy fragrance. You've got a little bit of a, I think it's a castoreum or a civet in there as well, a little bit of an animalic quality. So really pleasant smelling fragrance, even though it's a bad boy kind of a fragrance. Dark Rebel was a good name for it. And finally, number 12 in the video. This is a brand new pickup and a fairly new release, and you can tell by looking at it, this is a dupe of a Halfeti or of a Penhaligon's fragrance, specifically one of the Halfeti fragrances, and it's a dupe of Halfeti Leather, and this is Georgians, which is a branch of Marmouth, and this is Flavia Georgians Haute Leather, and this is a oud leather fragrance. But before you tune out if you don't like oud, let me just tell you, this is a fruity, sweet leather oud fragrance. And this fragrance, surprisingly, my wife and my daughter both really, really liked, which is unusual for them because, again, that sweetness and that fruitiness is going to set it apart from a lot of oud leather fragrances that are reserved more for, your niche aficionado. Really good stuff right here. Haute Leather by Georgians, which is the branch of Armagh. So that has been 12 phenomenal clones that are going to have you smelling amazing. And I would say that's true of every one of these. You wear these and people are going to say, wow, you smell so good. What are you wearing? And I've had that experience with many of these that are in the video. But let me know down below, what are some of those that you wear, fragrances that you wear that people say, wow, you smell amazing, especially if they're cheap, even better. Let us know down in the comments. Remember to subscribe to the channel and give an absolutely phenomenal, amazing click to the like button if you like the video. I'm Justin, this is Sillage Scents.